Hey guys, Tony Rowe here, back. I just recorded, maybe a couple hours ago, my series little uh, treatise on the Catalan with bishop b4 check and bishop d6, and now I am back against Battate in a 15-5 game. This guy has the ever-elusive quad 2 rating. Pretty much the highest quad rating you can get. I don't think anyone's going to hit 33 anytime soon. Oh no, what just happened? Okay. He's playing, sort of a Chigorin-esque setup, which is fine. I'm not sure I totally believe in it, but... Oh, so he's going all the way with it. I've seen h3 here in this position sometimes. I think h3, maybe I saw this in the Hilton book. I can't remember. But I'm going to go h3. Oh, okay. So he's going to take. E5 doesn't work. Wow, this is somewhat unusual. I should have probably thought about taking with the e-pawn, but that's all right. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm just going to go bishop b2. I think he'll go e5 and I'll take it. He'll go knight e5 and then I'll castle. Would most likely be the continuation. Yeah, I didn't think about it too long, but I probably should have thought about taking this way. I kind of like the looks of that, actually. That way, if he goes e5, I can take, and then long term I have f4, I think. So we'll look at that after the game. As it stands, I'll have to find some way to play c4, which is not super easy at the moment. I do have the two bishops. I would honestly not be surprised if this guy goes h5. He seems like kind of a crazy person. If h5... I don't know. I'll have to think about it. h5, c... I could play knight c3 and attack d5, and if knight f6, I can go bishop g5. But he always has c6, and then I will, I think, severely wish that I didn't block my c-pawn. I want to go bishop f4 and kick away this knight, perhaps, and then go c4. You can go knight g6, though, and then what? Bishop e3. He even has d4 if he wants, but he can also just go bishop e3, h4. I don't like the look of any of this. I don't know. Knight c3, c6. I don't know. I think we can effectively rule bishop f4 out as a candidate move. I do not like the look of knight g6, bishop e3, h4. That's not for me. Queen d4 is a double attack, but he has knight c6. Queen d4 hitting e5 and h4 maybe, just slowing him down by a move. Is that reasonable? I would expect him to go knight f6. Yeah, I'm not sure about any of this. h4 seems really lame. I mean, ugh. E takes f3. Why didn't I play you? Okay. I don't know. c4 is just like not possible. I'm wondering if I should just go knight c3. Anyway, at least c6 is a little bit weakening, and then maybe at some point in the game I can move the knight somewhere, like a4, and I have no idea. I don't see anything better. h4 looks bad. If he goes knight f6, I'll just play bishop g5 right away. c6, okay. Now bishop, yeah. Keep wanting to come back to this h4 idea. I just tend to want to not let my opponent do things that they want to do. Yeah, I guess the problem with bishop f4, knight g6, bishop e3 now is that d4 wins a piece. Nice job, knight c3. Oh, I do have queen d4 here, though. Bishop d6. Can I take on a7? Is that a real threat? Probably is. It will get sharp, though, like something like bishop d6, queen a7. Queen h4, I guess. I think I pretty much have to play this, though. I didn't actually notice this when I played knight c3, that if he goes c6, I can then go queen d4, and he doesn't have knight back to c6. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, so I think he basically has to go here. Yeah, one thing that I have now is knight a4 to b6, which looks irritating. Like if h4, I think I can... I mean, I don't have to go g4 immediately. I can chuck in knight a4 first. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I mean, I would assume that I'm going to go g4 next move. He can just go bishop c7 or whatever. Ah, but bishop c7, queen a8, check. Bishop b8, knight b6 wins a queen. I don't know. This is kind of going to hell in a handbasket faster than I thought. I do need to look this up, though, because I think I played kind of bad. If you're going to play h3, you got to know what to do, I think, because... Like, if bishop f5, then it's hard to catch. I remember that this is a move, though. Bishop f5, I think maybe c4, just... But I'll have to look it up. Isn't there knight b6 check, king c7, knight d7? Yeah, he sees it. Okay. Okay, let's take a rematch. That game was really quick, and there isn't much to analyze there, I think. So we'll give him another game, and we'll make this a 2-game series. I turned my mic down a little bit. Let me know if this is better. I've been having trouble in my recent videos where like my mic just sounds really hot if I start talking too loud. I think it's a level issue. I would assume it's a level issue. Whoa. Okay, so he's clearly gonna... He wants a King's Indian attack. How should I play? What should I do? I'll play d5. I would assume he's going to go knight b to d2 or g3. g3. Okay. So I'm going to play g6. I could have went, you know, bishop g4 there and played likely with e6 and bishop e7. But I'll go g6 and see what this guy's got here. Castles, castles, knight b to d2, I would guess. I will probably go knight b to d2, c5, e4, knight c6, I would say. If e5 there, probably knight g4 just wins a pawn, so I don't have to worry about that. Ooh, c4. Interesting. If d4, I think he might be able to go b4, which would be annoying. can still go c5. Thinking about it. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll go c5, he takes, I'll take with the knight. He won't be able to go knight c3 because he's flicked in this move already. Now if he goes knight c3, I will play d4, of course. Shout out to No Joke. Member of the Lee Chess team. He's got a great Twitch stream. Check it out. Shenley1914. I don't know who that is. This guy from Germany. He said Danke, France. I see. A French guy who thanks me in German. Just can't pin those French down. Also, shout out to Anonymous. It's a good guy. So depending on White's setup here, I would think about going knight c6 and possibly even e5. If White finds some way to arrange a knight c3 without losing a pawn, I'll probably go knight back to c7. Keep on all the minor pieces. Usually when you have this e5 c5 structure in the English versus the e2 d3 structure like this, it behooves you to leave some pieces on the board. Okay, so I'm going to just go knight c6 quickly. Not waste too much time. a3, not sure about it. I mean, he wants to go queen c2 and basically not allow these things, but it does take an unfortunate amount of time to do so. So if I go b6, knight c3, knight c7, does he have b4 there? C takes. Should be okay. So I do have to keep a lookout for, this kind of nonsense. The nice thing about having the knight on c3, or c7 rather, is that the rook on a8 is always protected. So stuff like, I don't know, it doesn't really work here, but stuff like knight e5, knight takes e5, bishop takes a8, there's always bishop takes, or knight takes a8, so. I'm going to try and sensibly complete development here, somehow or another. With the queen on c2, knight d4 is kind of always looming as a positive way to change the structure a little bit. Okay, that's a move, I guess. Now the question is, do I want to go e5, bishop, e5, and probably leave the bishop sort of on, one of these squares, or do I want to go bishop b7? I don't know. My idea is to go bishop f5. If he plays e4 is very permanent, I would assume he would go rook d1. And then maybe I would just go queen d7, and he has to be ready to meet rook fd8. Yeah, I kind of like the look of that. I guess he has knight e4 in this position, if he wants to play that way. Yeah, but that's okay with me, I think. The e4 square is not actually that great of a square for him. If rook d1, bishop f5, rook d1, queen d7, knight h4. Not sure. Not sure. Okay, I'm going to go bishop f5. I'm not sure it's the best move. Bishop b7 seems pretty harmonious to me. It makes a lot of sense, but I'm going to try bishop f5 instead. There we go. I've been having a lot of connection problems on Lichess lately. It's not Lichess, it's my internet provider. By the way, if you didn't know this, you can always go to lichess.org/lag and see where if you think you're lagging, and why. Usually it's not the Lichess server. The Lichess server is very quick. Okay. So we'll just go queen d7, getting ready for rook fd8, rook a to c8. I was also thinking about going e5 in that specific position, so if knight h4, bishop e6 is a little bit more harmonious. It's out of the way of my e-pawn. I should maybe have played that, but that's okay. You know, it is what it is. I do sort of wish my bishop was on b7 right now, though. So we'll take a look at that after the game. I think that might have been better. I was a little bit leery of having that bishop undefended on b7, but I think it's the better move, probably. But that's okay. Bishop f5 is not bad. It just doesn't look quite right. Because at some point I think I'm going to want to go e5 and knight e6 to improve my position, and then having this bishop on f5 looks pretty dumb. So... but we'll make it work. It's funny, I just got a dog and I have to kind of like plan my recording around when he's sleeping, sort of. It's like, it's a thing. Okay. So he wants to go knight e4. I would imagine, I think is his point. To deal with the pressure on... or he wants to go e4. And be able to play knight takes e6 when that happens. If I go h6 and he goes e4... man. This move seems very suspicious. Just on a kind of does it pass the smell test sort of feel here. I think I'm thinking about is c4, e4, knight d4. That actually looks pretty good. So if c4, obviously I have a pretty big threat there. What does he do about it? If e4, knight d4... jeez. Queen d2, knight b3. So I'm looking at e4, knight d4, queen d2. Knight b3 looks pretty fatal. So if c4, e4, knight d4, he looks like he kind of has to go queen a4. But then b5, I think. This queen is trapped, in fact. So what? I guess maybe he just has d takes e4? Is that ridiculous? Yeah, a little bit. Really? Do I have c4, d takes c4, knight d4? Blocking his attack on my queen and double attacking his queen? If rook takes, then I just take with the bishop, still hitting his queen. That would be fairly ridiculous. If yes. A lot of choices here, unfortunately, for me. c4, d takes c4, knight d4. No, he has queen d2. Okay, so I think queen d2 there. And if knight b3 takes here... Yeah, bishop takes d7, rook takes d7. Rook a1, and like everything is hanging after rook c7 or bishop c6 maybe. So I don't think that's very good. Looked cool. Looked cool, doesn't work. If h6, knight g to e4, I think is forced. I think if h6, e4, knight d4 is just crushing. h6, knight e4. Why don't I just go like e5 there? Yeah, there's just way too many moves is the problem. Rook a to c8 also comes to mind. Rook f to d8. Rook a to d8 even, just to get on the d file but also get out of this pin at the same time. I don't know. I'm going to play rook a to c8. I think if he, for no particular reason in that it looks like a practical choice and a safe choice and one that seems the most flexible, like h6, knight g to e4 almost gives him like a move that he wants to play anyway. And it seems like this rook should go on c8 rather than this rook going to d8 or whatnot. Okay, now I really want to start calculating knight d4. So if knight d4, e takes d4, c takes d4, let's just say he goes knight e4 for the hell of it. Wondering if I can go knight e6 with a discovered attack on the queen and hitting this knight. Oh, no, the knight is protected too many times. If he plays e takes d4, the bishop on g5 protects it. Okay, so that doesn't work at all. Stupid idea, Tony. Yeah, this is not like working out the way I planned it. Is the issue. I think even after rook fd8, he can still go bishop b2. Because if I take here, he can take here. Oi. Oh, man. Tired. Sorry. Excuse my yawn. That's rude. I know. Is there knight b5? Knight b5, bishop b2, takes, knight d4. The problem is he just has like queen b2 in that position or something. Nothing is really working here. Knight b5, bishop b2. Okay, I'm just going to go rook fd8. I don't have a lot of time. In fact, I have very little time, especially because Lichess is not registering my moves particularly fast. This 5-second increment is just covering my weird lag from stupid Time Warner cable. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Having Thursday and Friday off makes it extremely hard to go back to work tomorrow. Not looking forward to that so much. But what can you do, you know? You gotta pay the bills. So I think if he goes bishop b2 here, I might just go, I don't know, h6, knight g to e4. If he goes knight g to e4 and then e5. If he puts the knight on e4, I sort of want to go like bishop b2, h6, knight g to e4, e5, and I kind of want to go then bishop b7 and then f5, and just expand in the center and push that knight around a little bit. It's not very stable on this square. Just gain a bunch of space. Some win will come up after. So he goes there right away. There's no tactic because it takes. He can even take with the he can even take this way. Okay, so that doesn't work at all. Is there take here now? Bishop takes c3, queen takes c3, bishop e. Now he's still got bishop e4. What the hell am I thinking? Okay. Knight b5 again. Bishop b2. What about knight b5, bishop b2, knight c to d4? Takes, then I take with the c pawn. That looks very good. What happens if he goes bishop d2, though? Then it seems like I don't have anything. Nothing obvious, at least. I don't know. I kind of just want to go e5. Okay, I'm just going to do that. Looks Bishop b2, sure. I'm going to go h6, and I just want to go bishop e6 and f5. This is like, I know I missed something here. There's no doubt in my mind that I missed some tactical shot already. I can just feel it. And I just don't have the time, or I'm missing something, clearly. Queen e2 seems fishy. I wanted to play bishop e6, so... Should I flick in bishop g4 first and try to get him to play f3, maybe? Yeah, let's try that. If he plays bishop f3, I'll just play bishop back to e6. The bishop looks kind of stupid on f3, I think. Probably he's forced to go knight d2. And then I'll go f5. Not sure I have an actual threat after that, but my position is looking still pretty strong. I mean, I have just more space for nothing. White's a little cramped. Probably calculating b4. I don't think it... a7's hanging at the end? Really? What's his idea? He doesn't care? Or did he miss it? It's clever. I mean, he wants to go queen g2, which is a great square for the queen. Hangs a pawn, however. Rook d2. Sure. Oh, his knight's trapped. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Well, didn't play great, I don't think, but worked out okay anyway. All right, well, let's analyze this one first since we're here. Let's grab the secret code here. Let's go to the study. By the way, if you're watching this video and you have not watched Countering the Catalan, I think you should check it out. Where's my YouTube games? We were black in this game. What the heck am I doing? Okay, so let's take a look at this one first. Pretty typical KIA setup here. Then my opponent goes c4. I want to go d4, but I was a little bit worried about b4. Stopping c5. This seems like a better Benoni than white should actually get, but I noticed that people as good as Li Chao and Alshanov and Mamadiyarov are willing to play it for black, so maybe I'm missing something here. So black seems to be crushing after rook e8. So if rook e8, I see. I mean, do I see? I'm not really sure. My first thought is that white should go maybe knight a3. But okay. Let's do this. e5. Let's say knight b3. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't seem like a great Benoni for black to me. I don't know. And if knight a3 even... e5, knight c2. Novelty, apparently. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would expect that, I don't know, maybe at some point e3 becomes kind of good. Okay, so that was worth checking out at least. But c5 seems the most natural move to me in this position. Also, probably very acceptable is c6, but less my style. I don't like those Slav structures as much. I really like the structures where I get a c pawn and my opponent takes on d5, whether it be with like knight b to d2, e4, and then takes on d5, or in this case, like this. It's kind of the reversed versions of like for instance, I play, let's just make some moves. Okay, it's black's turn, dumbass. It's kind of like the reverse version of these lines, which I play as white a lot, and so to play these lines as black is totally fine with me. In this specific case, it's more like black played like, let's say black played, I don't know, I have to go way far back. It's more like black played this, and now he can't go knight c6. So let's delete the other line so it's more clear. So this is kind of the reversed version of that. Okay. It is possible in both the reverse version and this version that, well, I suppose this is the reverse version, the normal version, to sack the pawn with knight c3. And the point is that it just becomes kind of hard for black to, this would be very thematic, it becomes hard for black to keep the pawn when pressure starts mounting on these pawns right away, like rook is coming in, bishop's coming in, bishop's coming in. You want to go b6, but you really can't because of like knight h4 or knight g5 or just any random knight move, knight d2. And you get in trouble, and it's just kind of hard to keep it all together here. Probably that's the best way for white to play. But if you're not familiar with these positions, you're not gonna sack the pawn with knight c3. a3 strikes me as a little bit dubious. It's a little bit weakening is the problem. I get the idea wanting to go queen c2, but it seems to me like the weakness on b3 and the time is just going to cost white a little bit. So I don't think I would have played a3. I think white needs to find something else. Possibly just even going queen c2 right away. And if b6, then knight c3. And if black wants to go knight b4, it doesn't really make any sense. I mean, you're just going to play queen b3 or whatever, and then there's going to be stuff along the long diagonal, or you're going to get a3 for free. So it doesn't seem logical for me, at least to me, to go a3 first, but okay. So a bunch of moves that are sort of forced, and once again, I like to go knight c7. This is a famous sort of, they call it like the Rubinstein maneuver, where in these specific structures where you have this c pawn versus kind of the small center with the open d file, you refuse to trade off these knights. So usually this knight can come to like the e6 square, and this knight will find it awkward to improve, especially when in a lot of these positions knight d4 comes, and then after knight takes d4, c takes d4, this knight gets hit again. And on the e4 square, as we saw, the e4 is not a stable square for the knight because of e5, f5, f5 specifically, of course, and h6 taking away g5, and so with the pawns on like all of these squares, it becomes hard for this knight to really find a good home. I hope that made sense. Yeah, bishop f5, but is Stockfish's choice, but I'm not sure it's the best choice. Yeah, okay. I get it. Okay. I get it. Bishop b7 is better. I think bishop b7 is the better move. Right after I played bishop f5, I was like, okay, this was stupid. I should have played. And I think after just like moves like this, is b3 not possible right away? Knight d5. I assume knight d4 is coming after like bishop here. Yeah. This is a very common tactic in these positions. Okay. So, yeah, I would assume that after something like this, that that black is just better. After queen d7, b3, something like this. If rook b1, queen d6. Why queen d6? Okay, well, doesn't seem all that relevant. Bishop b7, best move. But bishop f5 is probably not that bad. Queen d7, knight g4. This move strikes me as just kind of weird. Rook a to d8. I guess there isn't much better than knight g4, honestly, though. If b3, again, I think there's knight d5, and then knight... my rook is not on c8 yet. So if b3... Let's say rook f to d8. Knight e1. Just say rook a to c8, bishop b2. I mean, I probably would end up playing like e5 in this position and just going into this kind of bind again. Black is just better in all of these positions. It's hard for white to change, you know, the structure here, and the structure and the extra space and sort of the coordination just makes black better in all of these variations. It doesn't much matter what white chooses now, as long as he doesn't change the character of the position. Okay, so Stockfish likes rook a to d8 better by just slightly for some reason. Rook a to d8. Why? Let's say here. Knight e5. And there's just stuff. Okay, I mean, you got me. Very unnatural, but at least to me. But rook a to c8 I think is just fine. Yeah, I would assume it's this knight d4 stuff again. I missed it. Yeah, all right. That is the win. And if bishop d2 instead, oh, d3 is hanging. That's what I missed. Okay. Yeah, there's just, oh no, knight b4 is even better than just taking here. Okay, it doesn't matter. Ooh, that's annoying. Okay. I mean, I know that tactic is lurking in all of these positions because it's the same with white. I miss this finesse that knight b5 first, bishop b2, and then now the c file is open. Sort of unclogging the c file with knight b5. Okay. Okay, and I missed it again. Rub it in. Okay, I have to be objective and mark this a question mark. And I have to be objective and mark this a question mark. Okay, so again, knight b5. Yeah, and if bishop... does that work? It does work. It's a little more complicated now, but I can take on d3. And the point is that if this, I can take here, takes here, and then take here. And I nab this guy on d2, and I'm up an exchange and a pawn. So that's a nice sequence there. Because it looks like at first this wouldn't work because of knight b5, and then even you might see as far as, okay, I can take here, but you have to, at last, eliminate the defender of the d2 bishop. Pretty slick. Didn't see it. And if bishop b2, again, there's this knight d4 idea. Okay. But again, it's like this is one of these positions where black doesn't really even have to win immediately. Black can just sort of chill out, and because this structure, like this knight on e4 is so misplaced, I think, and just the idea of going bishop e6 and f5, gaining all of the space, is just strong enough to still guarantee black a really great position. I mean, this hedgehog structure is just a bad hedgehog, I think. Yeah, and we go. It wants to take. Why is that? Is there some e4 stuff? Okay, so takes. Queen e6. Queen e6, knight d2, and then rook d3. So just winning a pawn clean. Yeah, that's not bad. And if bishop e6, knight d2, can I just take here? No. Oh, because c6 is hanging. That's the idea. Okay, that's the point. Okay. Yeah, so what if knight d2? I was just going to go f5, I think. And he can go b4 because a7 is hanging. Okay, so maybe... So what would I play here instead? If knight a5, why not b4? Knight b5, b4. Is there knight b3? Knight takes, rook d2, c4 perhaps? Sorry, my dog was going nuts there for a second. What is c4? It seems pretty bad. It seems pretty horrendous. Okay. But I think if you, yeah, the thing you have to see is that you shouldn't take first. Because if you take first and then you go knight b3, there's rook takes a7. So you don't want to do that. Okay, and that game ended very abruptly. I'm sorry if you can hear the dog groaning. He's like itching himself. Okay, let's grab the other game and look at that real fast. I think Lichess should make these game codes. Oh, you can't see it up here. It's just like some random set of characters. I think they should do like the Imgur or Imgur. How do the cool kids say it? I don't know. Write it in the comments if you actually know how to pronounce that. Where they do like some series of like funny words for their like random generation of links. So they'll do like angry turtle sweater or whatever. I think Lichess should start doing that with all the games. Okay. Why does anyone listen to me? I don't know. Okay, so usual stuff. Not allowing e5 here, of course. Bishop g4. And then he goes queen d7. Okay, and I knew h3 was a move, but it is worth just looking at c4 right away. I'd be worried about just takes here. And then if d5, can he castle? Knight c3. I'm again threatening to play d takes c6. He sort of must take. Bishop takes, knight e5. I guess bishop g2. And e6. This all seems very natural. Then there's queen d4, knight c6. Queen takes c4, I guess. And then takes. The only game went here, and then knight d4, king f1. I see. Rook d7, protecting f7. Then, well, e3 seems odd to me. Okay, this game is out of control. I'm going to stop looking at it. But it is worth considering, based on this very forcing line. This does seem... Okay, now and if knight d4... Whoa. What am I missing here? So if this check... King d2, knight takes... Oh, mama. That's dirt. That is dirty. And then you take here, he doesn't have c6, and this knight is trapped. And we're up a pawn. Ooh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Where's the novelty? Oh, they took out the novelty. I remember that. I've gotten caught twice with that. All right, you know what? I'm going to stick it to Tebow. Just write N. Oh, man, that's salt. That is, that's sassy. Okay, that's cool. This will literally never come up in a game of mine, but it is cool to just know. But there is h3, and then takes. I think, yeah, I should take this way. Top move in the database, not at all surprising. And after castles, then I can just castle too. Like, I think... or I can go f4 right away so he can't play e5. I don't know, castling seems natural to me, but f4 does seem fine. And white probably is slightly for choice here, so that's critical. So e takes f3. That is a key. That's a key takeaway in this position. My move was stupid. My position was not very good out of the opening, I don't think. This seems like black just has too much here. This thing is too good. Making it hard for me to play c4. Yeah, Stockfish does say knight c3, but I wasn't happy that I had to play. I guess h5 really is probably a mistake, isn't it? It's just a little too much. Because I think if black goes something like this, and then I go knight c3, it just seems like I don't have anything if he just plays something natural. Sure, bishop c5 makes sense. Even like h6, just stopping bishop g5. It all seems kind of equal. Maybe even just king b8 here, so that if knight c3, then c6, and if queen d4, why is this good? Oh, but what about this? Oh man, who's gonna see all this? No one. With this threat, that's pretty savage. Aha. Whoops, what did I just do? That is interesting. Okay. Well, literally would have never found that. Is interesting to note though. Yeah, it's just this one mistake. I mean, I think that's just basically it. C6 is just bad. It looks so obvious. Neither of us saw it until it was too... Well, I saw it before it was too late, but my opponent didn't see it until it was too late. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's just nothing... There's nothing to really be done after this. And h4, knight a4. Yeah, and my opponent played bishop b8, but that just loses extra material. Oh, I just thought this. Takes here, and I'm up a bunch of stuff. A piece specifically. Yeah, and that's he resigned essentially before I could play it. I don't know if he resigned because oops, I did play this, right? No, I didn't. I don't think I played that. Doesn't matter. Irrelevant. Okay. That's really the game. Short but sweet. But yeah, key takeaway. Since this line comes up not an unusual, not a small amount in my games, people like to play the Chigorin. And people like to castle long and try and attack you. Key moment, E takes F3, castles F4. Even castles here, though, I do wonder about. Let's just look at that real quick. And if E5, I think... Just make sure I'm not doing dumb stuff. I would just take here and then play F4, I think. I even wonder if I can just play C4 here, and it seems good. If takes, then I thought Queen A4. With just some kind of an advantage. I like my chances on the queen side more than black's chances on the king side, but that's just me. Knight D2. That's deep. That's too deep for me. C3, way too lame. I think C4 has to be the move here, and white should have some kind of an initiative. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed these games. I'm getting back kind of into the swing of things with recording, and I have a lot of 45 plus 45 games left to slog through. I've been studying another rook ending for the Practical Rook Ending series that I hope I will get to at some point. And yeah, there will be more stuff. Hope you guys are enjoying all of the videos. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Peace.